Joining me now is Stephen Farnsworth, political and international affairs analyst. Stephen, thanks for being here.
Glad to be here.
Donald Trump was supposed to talk for about 45 minutes. He went over an hour. Seen some criticism about just his tone, about the lack of energy with some of the speech. He did say, I think most importantly maybe out of this, is that the U.S. would not use force to take Greenland. Is that what stood out to you the most, or give me what your thoughts?
Well, absolutely. I think one of the big questions is, what are the red lines with Donald Trump? What are the things the president will not do? And by eliminating the possibility of military force, I think that allowed a lot of the allies to take a breath, that this isn't as big a crisis perhaps as they'd imagined at the start.
Yeah, so for you now, too, as soon as we talk about this as well, we want to play a short clip here as well, because in his speech, Trump did say, at least at one point, that even though he's not going to use military force, that the U.S. would remember this. So I just want to have a reporter ask him about that. Just listen to this.
When you said you would remember if Denmark did not agree to a deal on Greenland, what did you mean? What are the consequences?
You'll have to figure that out for yourself. You're a smart guy.
So again, a little bit snarky, I think, in his reply to the reporter when asked about that. But what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think it's important to recognize that one of the key things that President Trump does as a negotiating strategy is try to leave options as open, as wide-ranging as possible. By taking an extreme position at the start, that creates an environment where the compromise that eventually emerges may be more appealing to the U.S., to his interests, than had been originally part of the negotiation. This is a strategy that President Trump has used consistently back to his days as a developer in New York City, and it keeps the adversaries, the negotiating partners, if you will, on edge. It's a strategy that often allows the president, particularly in dealings with Congress or agencies in the United States, to get an awful lot of what he wants. It's not 50-50, it's more like 70-30.
Right. And again, you mentioned it. We've seen it a number of times from him over the last number of years, even in his first term as president. I'm curious your thoughts about Canada, too. After Mark Carney's speech yesterday and the prime minister and what he had to say about the possibility of it being a rupture, not just a transition in the world order, too. Donald Trump responded to that today. Your thoughts on his response to Canada and to Mark Carney and about what this could mean here moving forward?
Well, I think that the prime minister appreciates that the world is very different now than it was 2 years ago. The recent trip by the prime minister to China, the interaction with leaders at Davos, I think it creates an environment where Canada is in a much better position to consider a range of options. If Canadians feel that the U.S. is less of a partner than it once was, and certainly with the President Trump's comments about the 51st state and the like, you can understand why Canadians would think that way. What the Prime Minister is doing makes a lot of sense for Canada's interests going forward.
Stephen Farnsworth, political and international affairs analyst. Appreciate your time today, Stephen. Thanks for this.
Thank you.